Hello. So this topic I thought was pretty important. Someone had asked me in my Facebook group about her 4-year-old she noticed was talking about hearing a voice that what she did not see was there. Um, So I personally believe that just natural human evolution is occurring where our children are born with psychic abilities. And I even remember when I was a child, like, yes, I have tuned in and discovered my own abilities right now. But when I was a young child, my abilities were a lot stronger. And then they faded over time from social conditioning and from like my mom telling me that it wasn't real when I would see things, because abilities kind of fade away when you aren't practicing them. Um, so yeah, someone brought up that her son was hearing a spirit and she didn't know how to protect him and what to do in that situation. And so some protection methods are, for one, if you've never heard of saging to cleanse the energy, definitely try that. Um, you can sage your home and cleanse your home of negative energy by saging each room and walking in a counterclockwise motion to stir up the energy in the space. You can also use protection shields against any entities that you feel are, attacking your children. Kind of, or like I like to do this with my son before bed. Is I put a protective bubble around him and just intention and visualization of this protective shield around him. If you truly believe that it's protecting your child, it is. And let's see, what else is there? Well, another thing is that to better help your children start to understand and develop your own psychic abilities, because I believe that we all have psychic abilities. We just have to learn about them and become in tune with them. And so I can tell you about some experiences that I have had with my son in regards to spirits attacking him. My son is 2.5. He'll be 3 in December. But there have been instances where negative entities and negative spirits have attacked him, because he is a very powerful being, only just 2 years old. So I feel like children are actually like a target for negative entities, because children do not understand their abilities and they do not understand, especially if their parent does not understand psychic abilities. So, there was one instance that my son was being attacked by a couple negative entities when he was going to bed, and I had to protect him and make them leave my home. This was before I developed my as powerful of abilities as I have now, because I've been practicing every day for years. But I can now see spirits and things like that. But before, I had only been able to feel them and hear them and things like that. So around this time that this happened with my son, I was only able to feel them. And also at that time, I was using a pendulum to speak with my higher self about situations and what was going on. So I was able to use my pendulum to ask questions. I no longer need a pendulum to communicate with my higher self and guides. I can just do that automatically. If you don't know what a pendulum is, I have one for an example right here. And you can ask questions to it. But anyways, that's like a different topic for another time. But so these negative entities that were attacking my son, I kind of just, I felt like I had to protect him and like just own this power of like, I am more powerful than you and you must leave my home. And I told them like, you must leave my son alone. You must leave my home now. I am more powerful than you. Leave now. And my son was being held by his father, and I'll get to that question in a second. So my son was being held by his father, and my son was seeing what I was doing when I was like fighting off these negative entities, and he was screaming like, "No, mama, no!" And I wasn't worried because I knew that I could make them leave. So when I felt that they actually left my house, my son obviously felt that too, because he immediately just like relaxed and was relieved and fell asleep in my arms. So yeah, it's definitely very important for us to be aware of our children's abilities, because our children they're very in tune with their true self, because they have not yet been socially conditioned by our poisonous society. So it's kind of our job to remove the social conditioning in ourselves, to develop our own abilities to help our children understand. Okay, how do you know you have powers and what are the signs? Well, I don't really specifically like to say that I have powers. I just have psychic abilities, and I know that everyone has capabilities of tuning into their own psychic abilities. There are some signs I can tell you. I believe that like everyone has abilities. So if you've ever had like dreams that seem to come true, or deja vu experiences, or you feel that there are you feel other people's emotions, or you feel a lot of intense energy when you're in a large crowd, those are signs of your psychic abilities. And there's many more signs that I'm probably not thinking of at the top of my head right now. But yeah, I believe that we all have abilities. We just have to tune in to them. That's awesome, Ken. Yeah, our children definitely have very strong abilities, and it is, I believe, very important for everyone to learn about and develop our own psychic abilities. My son was actually an inspiration for me to practice my own abilities and develop my abilities as strongly as I have now, because I have always known, even before he was born, that he was going to have some powerful psychic abilities. So yeah, if you have any intentions to start learning about your own abilities and learning about how to protect your children and teach them about their own unique abilities, definitely reach out to me, because I do have a coaching program where I teach you about your own unique abilities, because like I said, we all, I believe, have some abilities. Do any of you have any questions? Because I do feel like I'm not sure exactly what to keep talking about in this video, and I know that there are 8 people watching, I see right now. So, anyone have any more questions? Let's see. I feel like Yeah, this is just a very important topic that I felt like I needed to speak about because our children are very powerful and they are the next stage of our human evolution. And we're like growing and evolving so quickly as humanity. Um, so, yes, I encourage all of you to reach out to me and, um, ask me any questions, or I actually offer a free psychic discovery call where I ask you questions about certain things in your life that you probably you might not even realize about your psychic abilities, because we all have them. So basically, I take you through a bunch of questions that you've probably been never been asked in your life, and I help you discover what kinds of psychic abilities you have and what types of spirit guides you have. So, if you are interested in that, message me and schedule a free psychic discovery call. I can also put a link in the comments on how, like, what services I have to offer. So, yeah, I think I'm going to get off this live video now. And I love you guys. Thank you for supporting me and thank you for watching me. You all are amazing and you're very powerful. So, yeah, I encourage you to learn about your powerful abilities. So, reach out to me because I do not bite. Love you guys. Bye.